What's up, you guys? It's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with a new video. And in this video, I wanted to talk about Brian McKnight and his son Nico's passing. His son Nico was battling stage 4 colon cancer for the past 2 years. And during that time frame, Brian McKnight, I still have to throw in there allegedly, basically abandoned his family, like his first family that he created. He made comments about them being made in sin and all type of crazy comments and distanced himself from his family, even though his son was battling cancer. Now his son has passed away. His brother, Claude McKnight, acknowledged it on social media before Brian McKnight did. And so now Brian McKnight is making a response. He's acknowledging his son's passing and kind of explaining his side of things, because a lot of people are saying that they know Brian McKnight must feel guilty for not reconciling with his son before his passing, because allegedly Brian McKnight refused to tell his son he loved him. He allegedly said, "I can't arbitrarily just tell you I love you." And so the whole story is heartbreaking, but I want to share with you Brian McKnight's response, and then we'll get into what the uncle initially said.
Claude McKnight's tasteless and self-aggrandizing announcement on TikTok that frankly was not his to make. In my opinion, he inserted himself and used Nico's death as an opportunity instead of letting him pass with respect and dignity. It has instead turned into a circus, a mockery of a life now lost, making this tragedy into a reality show type drama. While that was unfolding, my family and I flew home to Maui and had a private memorial remembering him and all the good times. The last time he and I spoke.
So when he says his family, by the way, he doesn't mean his family like all of his family from what it sounds like. It sounds like he means like his newer family that he has with his new wife in Hawaii, not all of his family.
We offered him all the help we could provide. We had the #1 oncologist on deck for him and a team of specialists on standby with private care in our home. He and his mother declined. The door of communication was open and remained open until his death. To the self-proclaimed mama bear, may God have mercy on your soul for not allowing him to accept that help and not allowing him to use that line of communication.
So if you can't see, what's in the sand is a bottle of Hennessy with I believe they're called Lays wrapped around it, and then Nico is written in the sand. So it looks like that was the memorial, writing his name in the sand with a bottle of Hennessy and a lay.
There is great comfort in knowing God knows the truth and the totality of the whole story. I am truly thankful for the immense peace God has given me, and I've left everything in his hands. I have a clear conscience. The only judgment that matters is God's. My wife, our children, and I are eternally thankful to Almighty God that the suffering has come to an end, and grateful for all of your condolences. Thanks to those of you who have known the truth from the beginning and haven't let untruths, half-truths, or slander prejudice your opinion. A big thanks to Claude McKnight's
All right, you guys. So he's basically saying that he had all of these doctors on deck for his son. I want to say because he's a legend, he had all these doctors on deck for his son, but that his son's mother turned down the offer of all these doctors. And when he says "Mama Bear," that's who he seems to be referring to. So this to me is kind of coming from a place of like blame, like shifting blame. Like a lot of people are not blaming him for his son's death, but kind of blaming him for not reconciling with his son before he died. That's what I think people are blaming him for. But he sounds like he's putting the blame on his son's mother, calling her Mama Bear and saying that she didn't allow him to get help from the best oncologist. So in any case, he also mentioned his brother. His brother was in the blogs a few days ago, and I want to share what his brother had to say about Nico's passing.
That my nephew, Niko McKnight, passed away. He'd been bravely battling cancer for the last 2 years or so. And I have a lot of feelings right now. I'm not going off a script or anything like that. I'm just going to be raw with how I'm feeling. Nico was one of those amazing kids who was quirky and curious and ridiculously talented. Amazing singer, an amazing guitar player, had a great eye, was a photographer. And just one of those kids that, at least in my estimation, was somebody you always wanted to be around. And so it really sucks that he's no longer with us. And I will also say, probably one of the reasons why I wasn't going to post about it is I post a lot of things, but I don't post a lot of really, really serious subject things, or certainly family things. And I wanted to post this about Nico, about his legacy, about how amazing he is, and not about what some of you may have heard about, the family drama that has existed for quite some time uh, in our family. I'm not here to discuss that or to talk about how that happened or why it happened. Um, this is not the time or the place, but what I will say is in any situation, there's always at least three sides to a story. There's my side, your side, and the truth. And the truth, a lot of times, is somewhere in between. So here's the thing, I don't know exactly what was going on there. I know what I've seen, I know what I've heard from all parties involved, and I try not to judge. I just try to be as loving to each person as I can be because apparently there's so much hurt going on, or was so much hurt going on, that a lot of things didn't get resolved. And again, I want to go back to Nico. I know that kid had a lot inside, a lot eating at him for a long, long, long time. That may have contributed to what happened with him. What I do know is he's out of pain now. And so I can rejoice in the fact that he no longer has to go through the chemo and the radiation and everything else. But I just want to uplift that young man and say we will see him again one day. I love you, Nico, Uncle Claude.
So, in my opinion, I don't think his uncle said anything disrespectful. It sounded like facts. Like from what we've seen, he mentioned that there was some type of drama in the family, but he just personally wanted to pay his respects to his nephew. And I think as parents, sometimes we have to be more understanding. Like, we don't actually own our kids. Like, other people have relationships with our kids. And if something happens, they want to make statements too, as far as paying their respects publicly. I don't see anything wrong with it. But, Brian McKnight, I guess he's just trying to probably deal with the shame. I don't know what he has going on. I don't know if it's mental health issues. I don't know what it is, but y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think about Brian McKnight's statement regarding his son's passing and kind of blaming his mom for allegedly not accepting the expert oncologist that Brian McKnight was trying to help him with? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. In my opinion, it's just a sad situation all around. I've never seen anything like it. But y'all share your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.